So, you've probably played Minecraft. If you're anything like me, you've noticed that the core Minecraft experience doesn't feel the same anymore. I spent some time thinking about it, and I've been able to find out what's different about this new version of Minecraft and how maybe you could fix it and make it feel more like the old version. When I was trying to figure out what made Minecraft Survival feel like survival, I returned to an old build to see what was different. One of the first things I noticed was because of the old textures, the game feels more medieval. I feel like I'm surviving in a much harsher world. But there's more to it than that. Very old builds of the game lacked the hunger system. Instead, food was used as an instant heal. However, there was a catch. Food items didn't use to stack. This system forced the player to plan out trips carefully and ration themselves a certain amount of food for the expedition. This did contribute to the old version's feeling of survival, but the game can obviously never return to this point, so I kept searching for a solution. Minecraft's updates used to make tweaks in lots of different areas. Now they are more focused on one thing, like a theme. In my opinion, once new updates are released, it feels like barely any changes have been made. Mojang averages about 2 updates a year. This year, it honestly feels like nothing has happened. Yes, we got the Nether update, but because they only updated the Nether, the rest of the game feels just as boring. And once the awe of the new Nether wears off, which happens really quickly, the game becomes dry, and we have to wait another half year for a new update. Many of Minecraft's updates suffer from one thing: lack of incentive. It's one of my biggest issues with the updates made to Minecraft. Why should you adventure long and hard to find a jungle temple when there are no exclusive rewards? You may find some chests, but those chests contain loot that can be found elsewhere. The Ocean Monument, which is a difficult place to survive in, provides you with sponges and some other non-exclusive blocks. Maybe you could go in for gold, but that's only if you need gold. This is a good example of how the game handles structures. The end cities and end ship are the only exception that I can think of. You can find heavily enchanted armor and also the exclusive Elytra. The game needs more items like the Elytra. The reason to go to the end cities is to find an item that literally lets you fly. There's also a cosmetic item, the Ender Dragon head, and also shulker boxes, which are incredibly useful. There's even fruit that lets you teleport. The game needs more things like this. Structures and biomes with a purpose, not just somewhere that looks pretty. A game that does this concept well is Terraria. Terraria heavily incentivizes traveling to certain biomes and areas for certain equipment. Doing this provides you with special items that reward you for adventuring to these places. Minecraft could incorporate this as well, and I believe it would benefit the game. Imagine if you went to a jungle temple and found a spawn egg. Upon using this spawn egg, you get an allied jungle spider that functions like a dog. It can be made stationary by right-clicking it, and when you're around it, it hops around its enemies, attacking them alongside you. Maybe you could go to the ice biome and find an igloo. Inside this igloo, there's an exclusive ice touch enchantment that slows enemies on contact. Things like this would give a sense of purpose to pointless elements of the game. Speaking of pointless additions, why are there pandas? Because they look cool. They don't do anything. Why are there polar bears? Same thing. This is something that the game suffers from. They could amend this by adding special functions to these useless mobs. Maybe they could have special meat or other drops. Maybe they could have dens where loot could be found. Maybe they could be ridden or tamed. Things like this. Back to the concept of survival, I think I can suggest a few features to make it feel better. The main catalyst for survival feeling less like survival is the bed. Remember in old Minecraft when you knew night was coming? You would retreat into your house or castle or treehouse or cave and wait out the night in your cozy living area. Maybe you would craft things, organize materials, renovate indoors, go mining, etc. Night felt dangerous. You didn't want to leave your house because your house was safe. If you did leave your house, you'd be extra careful and strategic about it. Night acts like a downtime in Minecraft, but when beds were introduced, that changed. Why not sleep? Unless you have some mobs to kill, you're likely going to sleep out each night because it's safer and easier. Minecraft turns into this constant effort to keep going and keep progressing, never slow down to do small things. It doesn't help that phantoms were introduced to punish you if you don't sleep. So how do you fix this? You can't just remove beds, that would upset a lot of people. Well, my solution is this. Underneath survival, there would be a button that reads more options. When selected, you would be presented with a few options to choose from. One of them would be true survival, or something along those lines. This version of survival doesn't remove beds entirely, however beds are used to set your spawn instead of skip the night. While on the surface during night, mobs get a damage increase to make it more difficult to survive during night, but also more rewarding. In addition to incentive being implemented better into the game, I believe this could create a survival that feels like a survival. To summarize, Minecraft survival has a lot of problems. The game lacks incentive to do things. All you need is the bare minimum to survive. All you need is a small living area with a bed and some crafting stations. The game has pointless additions and not enough purposeful additions. If a few small things were tweaked and a new mode or two was added, I think I could appreciate this new survival a lot more. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't, don't. I think I may direct my channel focus to this type of video, maybe more commentary-oriented content. If you like it, let me know. Bye for now.